What is going on, guys? This is Brothers All Gaming with my review of Kekai Sensen episode 6. And this episode, it was surprisingly feelsy. I had no idea the episode would be so deep, but those feels definitely got to me, especially at the end. But the episode itself, it starts off with Leo. He has now gone to this burger joint, and we see now obviously he did order some food. And so while he was heading back, he was thinking to himself, but why would this intersection, we see now that some kind of weird monster thingy was running across the street when the light was red, and obviously it was coming toward Leo. He out of nowhere, this thing get hit by this massive truck, and we see now it goes flying. It was spinning around, but luckily it was okay, because when I actually got up and Leo was checking on it, it actually asked for his burger, and that right there, it was pretty amusing to see that. And we see now even Leo was kind of shocked by this, and asked him get like a food grub, I believe what the sub said. But we see now that these two who was driving the truck, they get out, and one was this black male, and this male right here, he was furious. And we see now that this alien or monster, it was alright, but the only thing it wanted, it was his burger. And so we see now these two did have one, but sadly, it was half eaten. But this alien or monster, it did not care at all. It was chowing down. But we see now, everything seemed pretty calm now. So Leo went on his way, and we see that when he came back, Zap was pretty banged up, and apparently that right there was done by chain. So these two have a very strange friendship, relationship, partnership, whatever you want to call it. But these two relationship is definitely kind of odd. But we do learn now that there's a burger joint. It pretty much shut down everywhere. And in the places that is still in, it's only humans, I believe, go there or are allowed to to buy from there. And so that right there, was a bit surprising, because every time we did see that burger joint, from the inside, it only had humans in there, no aliens, no monsters, no demons, only humans. So that right there was a bit surprising. But what Zap and Leo were talking about, that right there, it was definitely bothering him, because they cared the humans so much. And even when even when he was talking to White, and we see now, or I thought at least White was making a joke. I mean, about him going to some human seminar about that place. But it turns out, they actually do have those there. And so that right there, what was a bit shocking to hear that, because you would never think a burger joint, would do something like that. But we see now that, while he was out again, he had to came across, that monster. And we see now this time, those two that hit him, they had bought him 4 burgers. But the thing is though, they had charged him quadruple the price, of them normally. And the reason they did that is because, a supply and demand, because this guy obviously, he wants burgers, and they would get them for him. So obviously, they could charge him whatever they want. And so now, because of that, Leo, he actually, Leo here is a great guy, because that right there, really got to him, and he would not allow that. So he actually, so he actually planned on, buying those burgers, for him. And we see them now building this friendship, from eating burgers. And those scenes with them hanging out together, that right there was just so nice and touching. And we see now that, even Leo was, picking up his, eating habits. Because what this monster would do. Oh, and his name, he had this really strange long name, but he told Leo to just call him I believe Neji, something like that. And so we see now, and it was hilarious that before they had learned each other's name, Neji will always call Leo the person who would not give him his burger, because Leo wouldn't do that, because obviously that right there was food for him and Zap. And so now we see, once they're friends, and there was some kind of special there was some kind of special wrapping paper that they would use, for their food. And Leo knows in the beginning of the episode that, when him and Zach were eating, they didn't use that. But somehow he was able to get one. I'm guessing that I'm guessing they don't do that now. We like eat inside the place. And so he has showed that, to Neji, and this guy, went like freaking insane, because even though he didn't know the character, he knew the artist who did that, and so Leo let him keep that, and that right there was nice. But we did learn that Neji here, he had no memory of his mother, and sadly his mother had no memories of him, and that right there was like definitely pretty sad. And make it even sadder now, we saw this like mother and child being so cute together, but now we see that those two, who her first hit at the beginning of the episode, apparently they're now in some money trouble, and we see now that the black guy was like so scared about what could happen if they didn't get the guy his money. He actually pissed his pants, and that right there made it part to put on his gas mask. And that right there, like, what was a bit surprising. But we see now, that while the two were driving, because the black guy was trying to take off that mask for some reason, even though he just left it alone because the partner definitely had to focus on the road. We see now, like, once again, they hit Neji, and this time the black male, he just freaking snaps. And he starts wailing on Neji pretty hard. And so I was like worried, because like obviously, like with all those hits he could die. And we see now all these humans were like just watching and standing doing nothing. And that right there, like that right there definitely can make me mad some, because like that right there was not right. They just stepped in and stopped that guy. But we see now Neji here, while he was getting hit, his head, it was turning redder and redder to eventually, he exploded, with like one more hit. And that right there had released the spores that had knocked everyone out, except for the male who was like wearing the gas mask. But we see now that after he get his partner out of there, we do learn now that, like that right there was like recorded as a mass fading incident, and not only that, also by a mass amnesia incident, because no one can remember anything from the past 13 hours. And so we see now that when Leo here, when like he was out waiting, or when he was out waiting for Neji, because he actually did have burgers, and he went back to the office, and and heard about this. For some reason, Leo thought that Neji could be behind this, and that right there is confusing, because like I don't know how Leo found about oh well, maybe it could have been because, oh, you know what, wow. It's kind of funny how I put that together, because obviously, when we heard about, this mass amnesia, and Neji, did not remember his mother, that right there definitely, okay, so now I get it, wow. Okay, so that right there is what made him think about that. But eventually, after running around some, he did recall, where like Neji lives, and he did find him. But we see now, that while they were talking, they were interrupted by once again those truck drivers, because one of them had knocked Leo out. And so when like Leo woke up, obviously, he was tied up, and these guys, well, the white man anyway, he was just nailing on Neji with like this metal bat, and this bat has some dings in it, and I'm pretty sure that right there, it's like all from Henningham. So that right there was like definitely messed up, and a bit uncalled for, because because for sure, this guy should have died from that. Even if his skeleton is not the same as a human, there is no way that he should have took or be able to take all those hits. And we see now once again, his head was like getting redder and redder. And so we see now, Leo finally had enough, and eventually before he could explode, we see now that like we see now that like Neji will hold it in, and sadly, sadly now these guys were like very ticked off, because obviously, with like Neji's head back to normal, they would have to start all over again. But Leo would not let that, and once again we have the God eyes in action, and that sound effect and the way the animation look when he uses powers, that right there was like so freaking badass. But we have no idea what he did to them, but obviously he made their eyes go crazy because we saw them moving around so rapidly, and obviously, you know, like they were all very confused about what was going on. But sadly, he could not keep it up for long, and we see now that this white guy, I freaking hate the piece of shit. He actually got so angry that he did attack Leo. But this time, you know, when he did that, Neji for the first time get, you know, really pissed off. And that right there makes him become much bigger. And this time, you know, when he had released those spores, you know, this time they only did not forget about, you know, 13 hours. But Leo claimed everything for the past, you know, 2 weeks. And even though people, well, I tell him stuff about what was going on, you know, sadly he did not remember. But once he was like all better and out the hospital, he once again went to go get a burger. But sadly this time though, you know, like when he was eating it, he did not get these well, he was not happy about it, because this time, you know, he was just so sad because he got all these glimpses of the past. And even though deeper here, you know, should be a good thing, you know, because like obviously we all seen this stuff, but this time, you know, it was just blank scenery, because, you know, even though he was remembering this stuff, he sadly cannot picture it all together, because, you know, it was just like mainly blank. And sadly, you know, that did bring him to tears. And but we see now that like Neji was like back to himself, and once again he had ran toward Leo, and once again he actually got hit. And so we see now, you know, these two, you know, like they were having like their sticks, so to say. And we see, you know, once again they had bonded over a burger, and they are friends again, which are like definitely nice. And that poster, you know, in the background saying don't forget me, those right there also brought out more feels. But I am definitely glad, you know, that these two are friends. And I do wonder if Neji will be around more, because obviously his power can be, you know, quite useful, especially in the right hands. And it seems like he can't use it without getting, you know, so beat up, because his rage is also another kind of like trigger point for his powers. But at the end of the episode now, you know, we have Leo once again going to visit White, but this time her brother is there, and we see now, or we learn now that, you know, not that many days has passed since the whole vampire incident, and Leo was remembering, you know, that vampire that they met on the subway, and that right there, you know, like was her brother. And so we see now that when Leo, you know, calls him out on that, of course he denies it, but we all know the truth, obviously. But we see now these two are now going to build, you know, some kind of friendship, or, you know, I really doubt that. But we do get a name, and his name is Black. Now, for some reason, I have a feeling, you know, that like White and Black are definitely not their real names, but I have no idea when we will learn their real names. But that within the episode, and like I said, it was just so fusy that I was like not really expecting it, to be honest with you. And so for that, you know, because it caught me off guard, I personally rate the episode probably an 8 out of 10. But of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy. I will see you all next time.